Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from. And welcome back to another cryptocurrency market update. Now, man, do we have a lot to talk about today because seemingly everything has been breaking out except for Bitcoin. So we're going to be going over Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum and seeing if Bitcoin will follow in the footsteps of these altcoins and break out. Now, as you guys can see, we have a couple forms of resistance here, so we're going to be breaking this down, talking about that, but also where we find support and see if this is feasible or if we're going to have another leg down here in a bear market. So if you guys are interested, go and stick around for the video, and do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. But getting on into this, we have a lot to cover today, so this might be a little bit of a longer video, but overarching, guys, we have three forms of resistance, and now seemingly every altcoin has already broken out of its bear flag resistances and really broken into signs of reversal, showing major upsides on coins like XRP and Ethereum. So if we're looking at Bitcoin, we're not really seeing the same pattern over here. In fact, we have three overbearing lead resistances, and it hasn't even touched any of those three yet, which is generally not a good idea. Now, something that was unique and happening in this market is that Bitcoin was actually following XRP for a very short amount of time here. In fact, when XRP was spiking, you actually saw XRP start going up first, and then you had Bitcoin following XRP, and that's not something I believe we've ever seen before in, really just the specific case of Bitcoin following XRP, which is, again, very, very new. So what we see here is Bitcoin, of course, getting first or very close to its first form of resistance. I mean, just a couple $100 away here, about $140 away from its first form of resistance. If we go back up and we look here, just from the past two swing highs, we have our resistance. So that's how we're getting this one. If we want to go to a little bit of a bigger one, we're going to our past three swing highs. And if we want an even larger one, we're going to our past five swing highs. So this is where we're getting these resistance lines from. And you can expect that they're going to be pretty well respected. Maybe it breaks through one, maybe it breaks through two. But we're going to have to wait and see if it can actually break through all three. Now, if it wants to, you're going to have to see volume and you're going to have to see momentum like we saw on XRP, probably even more so than what we saw on Ethereum, and I'll go to those charts after this. But granted, these are our three levels of resistance. Right now, it's looking at the first one being around 6,870, the second one being around $7,063, and then the third one being around $7,275. So that's going to be where they're at in at least the foreseeable future, in the very soon future here. But we are looking for support. Of course, we have numerous amounts of support lines all over this. We're looking at our fib retracements now. But if you are a bull here, you're liking one thing, and that is that this thing got absolutely held up out of so much selling pressure. Now, an absolute absurd amount of selling pressure came in here from some whales, and it wasn't able to break it down that much. Sure, it did break through the 236 and the 382, but you immediately saw it after breaking through the 200 MA and the 200 EMA, bouncing off the 50 EMA, and not even getting to touch a 50% retracement on this massive amount of sell volume. So instantly you see the sellers getting rejected, the bears get really beat up by the bulls, and this thing shoots back up. Now, the candle is closing pretty soon here in less than an hour, and is gonna be above where it was having resistance. We're seeing support, on the 200 MA, and then for this to continually go up again is bullish. So you would like to see this close above the 236 for a higher low, especially. That would be really good, just considering the amount of sell pressure that you had in this candle. So for this thing to be closing at a higher low than the previous candle is pretty good, in fact. So again, you could be seeing this pretty soon. What you do also have here is an upwards channel on Bitcoin. Now, this isn't too well respected, but it is a channel nonetheless, signifying that this thing is leading up to support. So you have to be careful here. You can't help but think that when this touches, it could tank, and if this does tank, you have to be ready, because essentially, I believe the alts will follow Bitcoin again, unless XRP has some sort of, or Ethereum has some sort of massive rally. And another thing is XRP is actually the #2 cryptocurrency right now and has beat out Ethereum for the #2 spot. So you actually have Ethereum sitting at the third largest cryptocurrency in total market cap. And XRP is the #2 now. So get ready up here, because if it doesn't break through, you're going to see a pretty hard rejection if it can't break through with some of these lines. And if it does get rejected, I would expect a significant fall. Probably come down here, bounce off of one of our support lines, and then head back up and test these lines again. But again, the bulls are getting stronger every single run. We talked about this in a couple of videos here, and I think it's just a matter of time now until we start seeing ourselves test these resistance lines again. So again, be careful. It could yield great profit if it does break out. I mean, just look at, again, XRP and Ethereum when they broke out, and we'll go over those in a second. But if it does get rejected, you'll probably have the altcoins follow it as per normal. So let's go ahead and move on over to XRP right now, as that is actually the number 2, and as you guys can see, we have a massive falling wedge that we've had this drawn up for forever. I mean, if you guys have watched the live streams or videos or are in the Discord at all, you know, you guys would know about this massive falling wedge that we've had drawn up on XRP here for a long time. Of course, with this breaking out, with the falling wedge that is this big, again, the measured move on this is gigantic. So this is why we see such high I guess buying pressure, such large green candles on XRP. Now, again, this is great for a breakout. This is what you want to see. However, you do need to make sure that you're making proper support for yourself here. We don't want another great FOMO where this thing just spikes up and then collapses on itself because it can't hold itself up on these little baby, you know, twig wicks that we have over here. They're just straight green candles with no form of consolidation or support. Because when it shoots up like this, you're essentially weakening any support on the way back down because all you have is green candles on the way up. So XRP right now, we can bring this actually down onto a smaller time frame to talk about what's been happening on it. Let's go ahead and go to the 30 minutes. So again, after it broke out, reached its max of around 80 cents, created a falling wedge. Great stuff. Created a falling wedge, broke out of that. Now it's consolidating a little bit again. So I mean, XRP is doing fantastic given its circumstances right now. So again, XRP is looking beautiful. I know that they had big news that came out as well, but you can see how the news correlated with the technical analysis here and how it really just all fits together like a hand in glove. So XRP, again, looking great so far, but I think it's going to be a big factor here as to, you know, whether or not Bitcoin gets rejected or whether it moves on further. Now, another thing to look at on XRP is that when it's falling down here, you do have a support here. Now, this is a 4-hour candle, and so what you have is you have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on this line of support sloping upward. So XRP could come back down here, touch this line of support, and bounce. So if you're a buyer, you're saying, hey, this is you know, the ideal buy is you buy on support, not on resistance or any of this. If you're doing this strategically, this is the way to do it. So I can't tell you guys how to invest your money, but for me personally, that is what I look for. Now, another thing to note is on the 30-minute, it is currently getting rejected. It fell under, now it's getting rejected by its 50-day EMA. Not that significant because it is a 30-minute scale, but let's go ahead and move on to Ethereum. If we're looking at Ethereum here, again, this is something that's been around for forever. I posted this a couple days before it happened on, or about at least a day before it happened on Patreon, if you guys are on there. And it yielded pretty good profit. So again, this thing has broken out, but again, the bad thing here, as we'll zoom in, and we're looking at this on our 4-hour, is that you see it getting rejected by the 200-day EMA, which is not ideal. Of course, this is in a very nice upwards channel here, signifying that it's going upwards, and this is almost even getting used. Let me break this down a little bit, so I don't want to make this too confusing by throwing too much at you guys in one shot, but you have this massive form of a resistance line that's now getting used as support. So if we zoom in down here, when you saw this thing spike up to around $250, $253, get rejected by your 200-day EMA and the top of this resistance line, and then falling back down, you're using this, you're pretty much using this, what was resistance, now as support, and you're having yourself retest the 200 MA and the 200 EMA now. But something to take note of here is that this isn't some sort of prosperity message where everything's going to be great. You could have yourself fall back down here. I would like to see this ride on, at least come back down, ride on this resistance a little bit, consolidate, and then break out again like XRP, following a very similar pattern. But yeah, again, for the Patreon, I believe the buy-in price was down here at around $205. We can check that later, but again, right now it's yielding great. Again, the measured move on this is pretty substantial. I believe the measured move on this is larger than the measured move for XRP, because this is an even greater falling wedge going all the way back to the beginning of January. Even again, our support line from December of 2017. So this is once again a very beautiful, great, respected falling wedge on Ethereum right now, and it's looking, fantastic. Now, again, you don't want to, when I talked about it coming back down here and riding on what was resistance, now using it as support, it has to be careful because it does not, on a breakout like this, you don't want to peek through and then fall back into this falling wedge, because that creates all sorts of problems, showing that you have, again, more bearish exhaustion, and that would be pretty, like, actually really bearish, not pretty bearish, it would be really bearish if you fall back into this falling wedge here. But as of right now, we have no reason to believe that it will. It is creating some sort of, it is creating double bearish divergence on its MACD right now. So again, it's like I said earlier, it could be retesting. But for the most part, honestly, what you could be doing is setting yourself up here for triple bullish divergence. Again, I don't know. I don't like counting this just because there's so much space in here, and you already have two failed bear rallies over here in between these two rallies. So it'd be a very complicated. I don't know if this could even be respected, just because of the amount of space and time that's in between these two. But again, RSI, you're seeing higher levels of positive momentum into your market. We circled this again. We've been talking about this. It was pretty obvious that something like this was coming for Ethereum as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and I want to talk about one more thing on Bitcoin before I end the video here, and we're actually going to go ahead and go back to that now, and that's looking at the daily MACD and the daily RSI, because those are two pretty significant things right now. And this is something I called days ago, honestly, because looking at the MACD and the RSI, you saw them coming together here. You had double bullish divergence, double bearish divergence, and you had them correlating to come together. And so what I said here is that you could have a short pump in Bitcoin, and then you could actually be setting yourself up here for a large dump. Now, again, this could go either way, but as of right now, I mean, I even drew this line signifying where I believe the MACD was going to go, how it could play out, and it's playing out pretty accurately right now. So you could expect it to get test this resistance line on its MACD and then get rejected and then come back down here. And again, as a bull, that's not what you want to see. This could very well break out because you have double bullish divergence, but at the same time, you have to respect everything that's happening here, and at least be acknowledge what's going on. Your RSIs, saying the exact same thing. You're seeing lower levels of negative momentum, lower levels of negative momentum, and lower levels of positive momentum coming together here. So either way, you can expect one way or another a large move is coming for Bitcoin in the not so distant future. So keep all of that in mind when you are looking at this. And make sure you do your own research and do not trade strictly off of what I just talked about. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully it was insightful and you learned something. If you guys did enjoy, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. But until next time, guys, I will see you guys in the next video.